A major bust this week by the FBI rescuing more than 200 victims of sex trafficking, including 84 minors. This was all part of a 2-week sting operation carried out in early August. The average age of the minors, 15, the youngest, just 11 years old. In all, 85 people have now been arrested or identified. The operation involved multiple federal agencies along with state and local law enforcement. And while this battle was won, we are facing a war on human trafficking across our country. And being rescued is really just the beginning of a very long healing process for the victims of these terrible crimes. Joining me now is Suzanne Lewis-Johnson, former coordinator of the FBI's Child Exploitation Task Force. She is now working in the private sector to try and help end human trafficking and address some of the issues that these victims face. Suzanne, thank you so much for being with us tonight. This latest sting, I know you believe, is just the tip of the iceberg. Explain how big of a problem sex trafficking is in large and small communities across our country.
Well, it's an enormous problem, and it's in every community across our country. I'm so thankful for all of the coordinators in the FBI and within other agencies who are coordinating task forces today. They don't have the resources that they need to address all of the instances of trafficking. There aren't enough resources on the planet, but they do so much with what they have. It truly takes a community to respond. We need a network to combat the traffickers' networks, and the attention that you're bringing, the education can prevent instances of trafficking. It can help us identify instances of trafficking, and together what we can do is prevent those victims from being re-victimized. We can help ensure they get justice, and we can really transform our culture and eliminate human trafficking altogether.
Suzanne, you say that we need to inoculate our kids against trafficker tactics. What does that mean?
We do. The legal standard, the definition of trafficking, traffickers use force, fraud, or coercion to induce sex or labor. Sex trafficking for children, there's no need for the force, fraud, or coercion under the federal law. Any child who's engaged in a commercial sex act is a victim of sex trafficking, but typically they use those means. And really, in practical terms, what that means is they use a trick. Trafficking usually starts with a trick. It starts with deception, with manipulation. Traffickers come in and try to fill a void that a child has. And if you look at our kids today, look at all of us. All of us have vulnerabilities. Traffickers identify those vulnerabilities. It could be a need for affection. It could be a need for a safe place to sleep, for food to eat. The trafficker comes in and poses as the solution, and then the relationship degrades over time. So our kids need to know what real, authentic, caring relationships look like so that they recognize the counterfeit when it comes along. We need to address those root issues so that we don't have those vulnerabilities in the first place.
Right. They're predators, right, in every aspect of the word. Before I run out of time with you, I know the public plays such an important role in prevention, getting to the root of this, but also being part of the solution. What is your message to the public in every community right now and how they can help?
You know, the truth matters. And the narrative about trafficking really needs to be reset, and we need to have conversations that are based on truth. We need to come to the table together. We've seen the impact of that through the FBI's operation cross country and all of the agencies who participated in that. And so at No More Trafficking, we are working on developing conduits to bring people together. There's one truth. Truth doesn't have two sides, but we can find it together. We can reset the conversation, have a conversation based on truly what are the needs, bring all of the experts into the room on a national scale and in every community. And together, we can really rebirth this movement to end trafficking.
Yeah, and stop this cycle. Thank you for all that you're doing to help in the healing process and raise awareness. Suzanne, we'll have you back. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so much.
Of course.
I appreciate your time.